Good day to all of my faithful followers on the Gabriel Speaks YouTube. And today we're going to do something a little bit unusual. We're in my office where I get all my energy from these beautiful icons. But we're celebrating the 5th anniversary of the falling asleep of Metropolitan Philip. So what I thought we would do today, we have this picture here, and when I finish my remarks, however long or short they may be, then we're going to play for you, in part, my introductory remarks to a video that we did of Sayyidina Philip on his 80th birthday that was produced for his 80th birthday and was shown at the banquet at the Archdiocese Convention in Chicago. They did put this on the Archdiocese website, but I thought that it is meet and right that we devote today, and I hope you stay with me, because I think this could be one of our most important videos that we would have produced. So this is a kind of historical review, and if I go a little bit long, please forgive me. And when we add the video with the remarks, this will make a complete cycle for our videos for today. And I would ask my good producer to post these sooner than later, since we're in the time of his 5th anniversary, and to jetson this into our schedule, because I'm sure his family would be deeply appreciative that we did not forget Sayyidina Philip. In 1966, and I was just practically a newly ordained priest, I was asked to join a delegation to go to Lebanon after the falling asleep of Antony Bashir of thrice blessed memory, to meet with the Patriarch and the Holy Synod, since there was a 6-month lapse where we had no Archbishop. Metropolitan Elias Kurban of Tripoli, a fellow classmate of Sayyidina Philip and student of Metropolitan Antony, was the locum tenens. And his election, ultimately, of Metropolitan Philip would have historical consequences for the entire Orthodox world, let alone the Antiochian Patriarchate. So I have to encapsulate this as best I can. I was asked to go. There was a delegation. I can get that picture over there. It shows the delegation in the corner. I'm sorry, it's right on the floor. There's that picture. No, on the other side. Yes, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it before. Let me identify those of us that went. This is Father Joe Shaheen, Father George Radis, Father Ellis Corey, This is myself on the end, Father George Corey, Father Ted Zaitin, and Father Tom Ruffin, one of the great churchmen of the Antiochian Church, and Metropolitan Eliakaram of Mount Lebanon, and he just awarded us with the cross of Mount Lebanon for taking the time out to come and visit him. He had the largest collection of icons, probably almost in the Orthodox world. And there's a story about this man. See, these things are important. There's a footnote about this man during the Nazi invasion in Russia. It was told to Stalin that he was in the lower part of his archdiocese in a small chapel, praying to the Virgin Mary to deliver Russia from the claws of the Nazis. He was brought to Russia with his icon, and that icon, the Virgin Mary, was paraded around the cities of Leningrad, in Moscow. And during that time in August, it snowed, and the Nazis had to retreat. And he was given the highest award by Stalin. And he had an influence in the restoration of the church in Russia. A little tidbit. In any case, historical one, very important. In any case, we visited every bishop, everyone we could possibly see, to the president, to the prime minister, all the parliamentarians. Why? Because there was a concerted effort during the Cold War period, and this was during the Cold War period, where Russia wanted to exert its dominance over our patriarchate, because there was a historical connection from when the patriarchate was restored in 1899, when Meletius Dumani was the first Arab patriarch in several hundred years that was elected to the Antiochian See. But there's always been a representative of Antioch in Russia, and always been representative of Russia in Antioch. And not always were their aims ecclesiastical. The Russians needed this poor church to extend its sphere of influence in the Middle East. I have to say that we were threatened. Every possible obstacle was put in our place. Every possible accusation was leveled against the candidate Philip Saliba, who out of all the candidates had the highest number of votes, 257 3/4 votes. I was a part of that committee, so I remember that very well. The late Peter Kazim was the contender with 59 votes. But Philip Saliba, a priest from Cleveland, Ohio, had the highest votes. And he became the preferred candidate. And Elias Graban urged us to go and pester the Patriarchate of Antioch. And we went as delegates from the Archdiocese on our own dime. No one was paid a penny. We went on our own dime. And we did it because of the love of our church. We wanted the legacy of Antony Bashir to be continued. And Philip had that charisma about him. So it seems that we went from metropolitan to metropolitan I can't tell you how many times we sat with his beatitude, the patriarch, Theodosius the Sixth, who did speak English, by the way. He was acquainted with America because he accompanied Antony Bashir when he came to America for his election as the primate of North America. I have maybe so many stories, but one that would stick in my mind the most, with our sitting around him like children. After we would take a break, he would go upstairs on the balcony with Archmandrite Shalhoub, George Shalhoub, and you could hear his delicate voice chanting the Akathist to the Virgin Mary, and that frail voice of an aged patriarch. Inni ana abduki ya walida dalila. And we would be downstairs listening to this with tears in our eyes. He didn't do this for show. He did this because he was a pious priest of God. And he felt what was needed at this crucial time. Because during his election, the same issue arose. And it was Antony Bashir who quashed the influence of the Russian church at that time. He knew what was at stake. And he prayed. And he prayed. Today, of course, Russia is in all the news. But you have no idea how the Russian church was used by the government in order to infiltrate the church and hence countries. And Philip's election was crucial because they wanted to divide America. And if they divided America, then America will lose its power on the world stage in terms of a national church or a national archdiocese. I sure hope you're following me because this is an important history lesson. See, his election and all the elections that followed in the year 1966 was the triumph of orthodoxy, triumph of Christ over the influence of communism in the Antiochian church. I'll cover the rest of this in the next section. Thank you for listening. I know you wish you could ask questions. You can write me questions and I'll answer them. This was a fascinating, and I wrote a diary. It's in the Word magazine in the issue of 1966. I believe it's either August or, not August, but October or November. The full account of that trip. Thank you.